Christopher Johnson. He is a Kansas City, Missouri native, now resides in Los Angeles, and he is the CEO of his self-owned CBJ Enterprises. He is a dedicated author, life coach, relationship coach, philanthropist, and world-renowned motivational speaker. And that's just only a minute detail of who he is as a person. So let us welcome Mr. Chris Johnson.
God bless, God bless. Good afternoon, everybody. I did not tell him to tell you I was there at 11:30. My mom just told me to be on time. Can everybody hear me? I'm suffering from speaking throat. I've been speaking too much, so I need to shut up sometimes. I'm coming here today to support Mr. Barrie, William, Esther, and let everybody know that I have a nonprofit called Let Everybody Live. And I just finished donating $150,000 to Bishop Noah Jones Church. It was ACT and PSAT books. That's my whole focus. And the reason I started that is because I'm a writer. And when I was writing my first book, I was sitting in Calabasas, Barnes & Noble, and I would write for 8 hours. And I saw these rich kids, and excuse me, not trying to be racist, rich white kids, Arabic. I mean, I seen all these rich kids coming. They'll buy a $5 latte, and they'll pull these $200, $100 books off the shelf. They would sit right next to me, and I'll write for 8 hours, okay? 8, sometimes 10 hours. They would be right there with me, drinking lattes, studying these books. Now, what hurt me the most is that when I got ready to go take a break or leave, they got up and put the books back on the shelf. And that ticks me off, because in the inner city, our kids don't have this opportunity. Here these kids are already having all the money in their world. I mean, I met one young lady, her dad owned half a Shell oil company or something. But she sit there and studied her MCAT book and didn't pay for it. So that bothers me, because our kids in the inner city don't have a chance to buy these books. And I'm really tired of us blaming the school system. I think we need to take our opportunity to educate ourselves back, because we're blaming too many people. There's too many of us up here talking about, well, they not funding this and that. Man, shut up, please. Sorry. Yeah. Barnes & Noble is full of books. I'm sorry. When God called me to write, just a little something about me, I had a scholarship to play basketball in 7th grade. So I've been an athlete all my life. Didn't pay attention in school. I'll be the first to admit. When I got to college, all I had to do was tell my coach I need to get prepared for the game, and he'll have somebody else do my homework. Real talk. I flunked public speaking, I flunked English, and I flunked literature, okay? But now I'm a 3-time published author. I have 3 books in stores and 1 current bestseller that's up for an award. You can't tell me if God wants you to do something, he'll provide for you to do it. When he called me to write books, I just gave you that brief history to tell you what happened. When he told me to write books, I said, me? Now, we all know about God. He'll call the most uneducated people for the job to do the job that he wants you to do. That way, he gets all the glory. Right. Yeah. Trust me. When he told me to write books, I was like, dude, I hate reading. Like, I hate reading. I hate reading. I hate typing. I don't even know the difference between there and there. I'm sorry. You got the wrong guy. He kept writing, he kept pushing, Finally, I got up, and I took my butt to Barnes & Noble. For one summer, I put myself in an English class, a literature class, a vocabulary class, a public speaking class, and I only spent $20. And that was on all the iced teas that I bought. And to be honest with you, they started giving me 50-cent refills because I was there so much. So it really wasn't a lot of money. But I put myself through those classes, English for Dummies, all that stuff, because I had no reason to fear, because I knew I had him with me. And so the reason I'm saying this about my nonprofit is because if God tells you to do something, all you got to do is get up and go do it. There's so much stuff out here for us to learn. There's so many books. When I found out they had a book made on how to get on Oprah, I was like, really? Like, who does it? Who writes a book about that? But I'm telling you, there's books everywhere. So anyway, my nonprofit is Let Everybody Read. Something else that's very damaging is that the Calabasas High School, where I live at, they've donated over $190,000 worth of books. Now, what's interesting is this really gonna hurt you guys. Is they tear the covers off the book and throw it in the trash. So that really bothers me, because our schools down this way don't get the books that they have, and at the end of the school semester, when Calabasas needs to get new books, they tear the cover off and throw it in the trash so nobody can resell it. So when I went there one time just to speak with somebody knew me, I went there and they said, really? Oh, well, now we give them to you. And within 5 months, I've already received over 6,000 books, over $190,000 worth of books. And it's ridiculous. So what we need to do is start asking questions, because obviously we're asking the wrong people to help us. There's a lot of schools, Brentwood, wherever the heck it is, I don't care where it is. So a lot of schools that throw away books at the end of the year. Ask them, hey, you guys throw away books? If they do, mention my nonprofit. I have people that will go pick it up and then we'll give them away. That's simple. So that's what I'm passionate about. And also just to leave a message with you guys. It's Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And Hosea 4:6, you can say you're destroyed for lack of knowledge because the government didn't give it to you. He didn't say because the school didn't give it to you. He didn't say because you didn't have no money. He just said you're destroyed for lack of knowledge. Get up and let's get in it and start helping people learn. That's pretty much it. And CBJ Global, I'm so sorry. CBJ Global is where you can contact me. C as in Chris, B as in boy, J as in John, global.com is where you can contact me about my nonprofit, if you have books, anything like that, okay?
Do you author or ghostwrite for other people?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And the reason I author or ghostwrite for other people is because there's so many people in the inner city, and I don't want to keep saying inner city, because I grew up in the hood, but I don't live in the hood now, so I can't blame the inner city. But there's so many people that God has given them a book, which is one of the first things God gave us to do is write, and they don't do it. And so what's funny is when I'm at speaking engagements, so many people come up to me afterwards and say, well, Chris, I read your book, I read this book, and how can I get started? And I asked them one question. I said, did God give you a book? And they said, yes. I said, now can your book help somebody? And they say, yes. I say, well, this is your fault because people are dying waiting on you to do your job. Right now, there's a lady down the street getting ready to commit suicide because God gave you the information that she could have read in your book and you didn't do it because the life got in the way. So I ghostwrite for that reason, and I try to encourage people to write. Yes, ma'am.
Do you go out to schools?
Yes, I speak all over. Yes.
Do you speak at like maybe the community rescue missions? I've got a brother who's a senior lead officer in Central Division, and he does this kind of work all the time, and he's like those homeless kids.
Yeah.
Come on, speak to me.
I'd love to. Man, I'd love to. Just so everybody knows this about me, also when God gives you a calling, He doesn't always tell you how it's going to go. And I told my pastor that I told my pastor, once I make it, I'm going to kick him in his stuff because he didn't tell me what was going to happen. When God called me to write, I took the call and said yes, but little did I know that right after that, I lost everything. Actually, my current book, Hang Up the Phone, The Guide to Getting Over Your Ex in 30 Days, it's a funny book. But I hide the secret to love in it. That's why I did it for. That book was actually written and published out of my truck. People don't realize that. When God tells you to do something, you don't know what's going to come after it, but all He wants to know is you have the faith in Him and that He's not a liar. And He's not a liar if He told you to do something. So a lot of people don't understand about me is that I tried that professional athlete career. It didn't work. No NBA teams, no NFL teams were calling me. I said, God, what do you want me to do with my life? He told me to write. And I was like, yes, money's coming. I'm selling millions of books, boom, boom. And then that next month I was eating out the trash, sleeping in my truck. But I held on to His word. I did not believe that anything else was going to happen besides what He promised me. So make sure you remember that. He may tell you to do something. If you're looking at your pocket and you're like, oh, I got to pay bills and this, but He wants me to go do that, do it. Don't fear. Seriously. Because I made it, and I mean, I sit up here really crying all day. But anyway.
You're on Facebook, right?
Yes. Yes.
I'll type in messages on your top.
Okay. Okay. No problem. If anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I just have to run to another event, so sorry about that.
You said CBJ.global?
C as in Chris, B as in boy, J as in John, global.com. Yes, sir. CBJ Global. And I'll leave some cards with William, and he can grab them. And if you guys go to my page, my website, you can go to companies, and you'll find all the icons of my books. And you click on them, and they take you to Barnes & Noble. Okay? Thank you, and God bless.